Hey guys, Steve Moran here at LTC 100, and I am talking to Sam Eisenberg, and you are.
This Chief Operating Officer at Magicare AI.
Okay, so let's start with a little bit about what Magicare AI does.
Sure. Magicare AI is building the AI native operating system for point acute care. Where we operate today is we have an AI admissions and RCM suite. We are working with the leading skilled nursing operators all across the United States.
Okay, terrific. So we're actually I've got these 5 leadership questions I'm asking leaders. And so we're just going to kind of run through them with you and see if you can teach us something.
I'd love it.
Okay. What's the most important leadership lesson you ever learned?
Part of being a leader is creating leaderships, giving every single individual autonomy and the skills to take ownership over what they're doing will make the biggest impact across an organization.
Okay, so I really like that as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do when you give autonomy and somebody messes it up?
Well, the first answer is we all mess things up.
That's right.
That's part of being a leader, is taking risks, making bold decisions, betting on yourself. And naturally, that will result in errors being made.
Right.
Now, if someone has proven that they are failing as a leader, that means one of two things, or perhaps both. It means one, I have failed to build them up as a leader, and that's something that I need to do better. Or two, they may not be the right fit for the organization.
Yeah, and I would 100% agree with both of those. And I think too often leaders are inclined to default to the second one, that they're not a fit, when maybe they should give some consideration to the fact that it's the leader's fault they're failing.
Yeah, so absolutely. I've definitely identified that myself, where I could have done a better job developing someone, and we're all paying the price for that.
Yep, cool. Okay, second question. What surprised you most about being a leader?
Wow, that's an excellent question. I've been blessed to be in leadership roles for many years. I would say that, again, there's 2 aspects. One is fulfilling my own potential. And I always feel like as a leader, I need to be growing. That has always surprised me, some of the things that I've learned and grown over the years. And the second side of that would be what you can turn someone into with the right toolbox and with the right coaching. You can really build someone to heights you maybe never could have anticipated.
Yeah, I like that idea that you can be surprised by what you can bring out in a person. And I love that so much. Okay. Third question. What does this industry still fundamentally get wrong, and what would it look like to fix it?
That's an excellent question. Fundamentally, as everyone knows, healthcare as a whole needs a lot of help. Now, healthcare has some of the hardest working people, some of the brightest, most talented people. What's broken is not the people. The people who run healthcare are amazing, and I'm inspired by them every single day. What's broken is the system, and a lot of the antiquated processes and a lot of the different ways that things run that mean that tons of effort is being poured into healthcare, and the results do not reflect that level of effort. So what needs to be fixed is how we do things, not who's doing it or how hard they're working.
I love that. Question 4. What's the single biggest people challenge you're facing now? And what is it all actually working on the people side of things?
That's a really excellent question as well. I love your questions, Brett. So I would say one of the biggest challenges is that in order to build leaders, there's a tremendous amount of investment that needs to go into that. So when I'm sitting in a role and building a company and trying to spend a lot of time with our customers and our existing team, our existing product, and bringing in new people, is how can I find the time to give to the people that I'm bringing on to make sure that we're, like we said, maximizing their potential and turning them into leaders. Finding that time and doing that in an appropriate way is quite challenging.
So this is really interesting to me. And I find myself wondering, as you're talking about so if you were giving advice to somebody who wants to be a leader and is still young, maybe it would be better if they worked to start in a more established organization that makes it easier. I mean, there are things you can't learn in an organization that you can in something like yours where it's entrepreneurial, right? But the downside of being an entrepreneurial organization, everybody's going so fast that it's really hard to get the help you need.
Yeah. And I would say that's also where you kind of find the diamonds in the rough. So when we are an entrepreneurial organization, I can't say we get it right 100% of the time, but a lot of what we're looking for is that this person is going to thrive in that type of setting. So if there's someone who, is a cookie cutter, fits in a box, takes orders, they're not going to be a good fit for us. If there's someone who's brave and bold and will make bets on themselves, they're going to shine. And I'll actually give you a great example of that.
Okay.
We have a woman who recently began working for us. Her name is Elizabeth. And right now I'm here with you at LTC 100, and we have 2 other events that we have teams at right now. And we had now another event going on in South Carolina. Said, I need another person there. And Elizabeth is with us barely 2 weeks. She raised her hand and she said, I'm going to go. And she brought our booth and she's representing us and she's crushing it. So she is someone who took the initiative, bet on herself, and we couldn't be more honored that she's working with us and proud of the results that she's bringing back.
Cool. I love that. So what is the single biggest people challenge that you're facing right now?
Again, so finding the time to build the leaders is definitely a challenge, but also finding time to really bring on that quality of talent.
Okay.
They're not easy to identify, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of time.
Okay. Just for fun.
Yeah.
What animal best describes your leadership style and why?
Oh, wow. That is a question I'm not prepared to answer.
So to me, you sound like you're describing either a bee or an ant.
Ouch.
No, I didn't go there. Good. I mean, you think, I know, as soon as I was thinking, do I say that or not? Because they're little tiny things and people want to think about being lions and tigers and all those kinds of things. But lions and tigers are good at being lions and tigers, but I don't know you really want lions and tigers on your team, right? Because they're pretty deadly and destructive to everybody but themselves. So I don't know.
Better to be a bee or an ant.
That's right.
All right. I'll take that compliment.
Yeah, that's right.